Okay, so before I get into this niche video, I just wanted to ask a question to anyone watching this, and that would be, would you be interested in doing a Amazon KDP 7-day challenge? Now, it's nothing special, it's nothing paid for, it's all just going to be YouTube videos, so 7 YouTube videos, kind of in a series where we go from day 1, where we find a niche, day 2, where we confirm the niche and put a unique spin on the niche, day 3, where we create our listings, and day 4 where we outsource and do our covers and all those sort of things, until day 7 where we have our book published, or where we're in a better position to have our book published. And the idea behind this challenge is because I've been getting a lot of questions from people recently saying that they don't have much time to put into the business, or they don't know exactly where to start. So the point of this challenge is to help people have a real good starting point and to give them a real focused task for each day of the challenge. Okay, so if that's something that interests you, I would upload it onto YouTube in 7 different videos. Leave a comment in the description saying that that interests you, or if it doesn't, then let me know and we'll go from there. Okay, so let's get straight into the video now and talk about this niche. And again, with all the niche videos that I do from here on, going to try and do examples in low content, medium content, and higher content books without being too niche specific. Okay, so the niche here is camping. Summer is approaching. In fact, I believe summer officially starts on the 20th or the 21st of this month. So we have a good few weeks to get some books out there. And now camping, these books, I've been going through them on Amazon, and I have a couple myself from last year. These books, the search rankings for a lot of these books are extremely low. Okay, so if you're going to get on this, then you're going to want to get on this pretty soon, because there is a lot of traffic going to these type of books. Okay, so a good audience to target for your low content and probably even your medium content and your higher content camping books are going to be kids. So for example, we have an interactive kids camping journal here, and this is the type of book that we can take inspiration from and get our own versions out there for this summer. Okay, so this is for people, for families that are going camping and taking their kids, and they're going to give them this type of book to, I guess, to fill out their experiences and whatnot whilst they've been camping. Okay, so what we can always do is come over to other people's books and see what they have inside. Okay, so for the most part, these low content camping books are going to have quite simple interiors. And now I've said this a million times on this channel, and that is that I prefer to outsource all of my work at Upwork.com. So if you're interested in having a book like this made, you could go to Upwork.com, put out job offerings for this type of book, and then get your own version made. So we're never ever copying people, that doesn't work, but we're doing our own unique version and just taking inspiration from existing books on Amazon, okay? So when it comes to these low content camping books, it's up to you how you decide to put your spin on these books. But for example, here we have a family camping journal, okay? So it's quite similar to the last one that we saw, but this one is based around families. Okay, and this one here, for example, is a summer camp journal memories. So I guess this is for kids that are heading off to summer camp, and they can write down all their memories inside of this low content book. Okay, so there's lots of traffic going to these type of books. I'm not going to be too specific with them, but you can find plenty of ideas if you start searching for these type of camping memory keepsake books for kids or for families, or maybe even for couples. But this year, and especially this summer, I think these type of books are going to be really popular. Okay, so what I like to do with medium content books is to always kind of tag on the words activity books onto my niche. So my niche is camping, and then I just tag on the words activity book or something like that, or word search or coloring book or things like that. We know what medium content books are by now, so we can just put these two together and start doing our niche research on Amazon here. And I can already see that the sales ranking for camping activity books are extremely low, even for new books with no reviews and books that don't have particularly good titles. So this is a very promising type of book, okay? And with the activity books, you can get more specific about the age range that you're going for, so 3 to 8, just for example here. So once again, this could be targeted just at kids, it could be targeted at families, it could be targeted at couples who go out camping together. You need to do your own niche research specifically for those, but these are just some ideas to get you started, okay? Camping activity book. And if you like, you can even go even more specific into the type of activity. So you could look for camping maze books or word search books or coloring books. There's a lot of opportunity here to have books made, okay? But from what I can see, activity books, so books that have a collection of different activities in them, seem to be quite popular, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to be this summer as well, okay? Okay, so when it comes to having activity books made, you need to decide what you're going to have inside. Okay, so with activity books, obviously you need to have a variety. So you can have things like word searches, maze, spot the difference, scissor skills, coloring pages, all those things. And all those things you can have outsourced, and you can have them outsourced for quite a cheap price, especially if you're doing kids books, because images for kids, they are very simple and you can have these made for a very low price. Okay. However, when it comes to word searches, and specifically word searches, if you plan to have them inside your activity book, I would use paid software. Okay. So when it comes to creating word searches, and if you're going to, I would only get this piece of software if you're planning on doing more word searches. So don't get it just for the sake of doing a couple word searches. Only invest in software if you plan to make multiple books, because it's not going to be free. And the software that I've used is instantpuzzlegenerator.io. It's very easy to use. You can make some really nice looking word searches with this software. Okay, so I'm not affiliated with this company whatsoever. However, it just happens to be the one that I've found that I think is the easiest to use, and I hate things that are complicated. So you should just go and check that out if you're interested in doing any kind of word search. Okay, so before I move on with this video, you may have noted by now that I pretty much have all of my interiors outsourced from Upwork, with the exception being word searches, which I used the word search generator that I just showed you. So I've seen quite a lot of other people's videos where they buy images from Creative Fabrica and put together interiors that way, which I'm sure that's fine. But for me, I don't like the idea of buying someone else's images and then using them in my book. To me, it kind of feels like there's going to be other people using the exact same interiors as me. So that's why I like to find on Upwork a trustworthy outsourcer. And once I found someone that I think is trustworthy, I keep hold of them and I make sure that I have someone that can do my low content book interiors. And then I also make sure I have someone that is a good graphic designer. So someone that can do things inside of activity pages that I can't do myself, and things that I don't want to buy from other websites. Okay, so that's just a quick side note there as to why I'm using Upwork to get that done. And I see quite a few comments even on my own channel about people worrying that they're not getting unique content. And the whole time that I've been outsourcing my work from Upwork, I've never had this problem. But the thing is, when I hire someone from Upwork, I make sure that I get them to send me samples. I make sure that I talk to the person, and then I do a small test order. And then I make sure that they are absolutely clear that the work that they're giving to me is unique. It's not going to be sold to anyone else. And it is in our contract when I purchase something. So upon purchasing something from them on Upwork, the rights of that work then gets transferred to me. Okay. So always talk with someone that you're hiring before you just go ahead and hire them. Okay. And the other thing that you might be worried about when it comes to hiring people off of Upwork is you might be wondering, are they just selling something to you that they've done for a previous client? Now, the way that you can get around that quite easily is to be very, very specific with what you want with your designs and interiors. Okay. And then if they can't deliver a sample that is exactly what you're looking for, then you can just move on to the next person if you are unsure how authentic that person is. Okay, so with camping books, it looks like we're mainly going to be looking at low content and medium content books here, because these are the type of books that people are going to take with them when they go camping. So when it comes to higher content books, so things over 10,000 words, realistically, are people going to be taking those type of books with them when they go camping? I'm not so sure. The only reason they would take something like that is to provide entertainment. So you could look at things like Would You Rather books and then have like a camping edition. So if you're going to make this type of book, then you need to make sure that the questions that you have inside are unique and that you make them yourself. These are very, very simple to make. I've spoke about Would You Rather questions in other videos. And I think a mistake that people make here is that they just search the internet and they just copy and paste existing internet content into their books and try and sell it as their own. So Amazon is going to pick up on that if you do that. So if you do the Would You Rather things, you need to make them unique, okay? So other than Would You Rather books, the only other type of high content book that I could think of that someone might take camping with them would be something like bedtime stories for kids, or ghost stories, or something like that that people can tell to their family in their tents or wherever they go when they're camping. Okay, so there are plenty of things that you can think of here around the camping niche. You just need to think a little bit, and I've just done this off the top of my head. I've typed in camping checklist, so this is a low content type of book, the type of book that someone might find to help themselves keep organized before they go camping. And you can go even deeper than this. You can think, what things are people going to do when they're going camping? So it could be things like fishing, and then that takes you over to a whole new niche of fishing, low content fishing books, fishing activity books, etc., etc. You just need to think of more activities that people might do whilst they're camping, okay? So this doesn't necessarily mean that the keywords camping and camping activities is going to be the most popular keyword. That's something that you need to check yourself and do your research for. But this year it is certainly a good niche, and I highly recommend that you look at having books made for this summer. And even if you don't have time to make it for this summer, you still have next summer and all the summers after that for your book to make sales, okay? And like I said in previous videos, don't worry if you don't get it out in time, because if you make a high enough quality book, you can always run ads to that book next summer, okay? Okay, so that's it for this video. Remember, if you're interested in a 7-day challenge, so that's just 7 YouTube videos that take you from day 1 to day 7, where hopefully at the end of the day 7, you'll have a book ready to be published. If you're interested in that, make sure you leave a comment and I'll get started on those.